.38 morning to you. This is Breakfast with Stephen and Dawn.
Racing fans rejoice. Las Vegas will host its first ever Grand Prix. Look at this, digitalised pictures of what Formula One race night will look like.
Oh, very fancy. That's in the Sunday Express this morning. The Sunday Telegraph shows the moment a cloud of orange paint was released over a pitch by Just the Ball protesters at the Gallagher Premiership final in Twickenham yesterday.
What is it with orange paint? Right. Meanwhile, in the Observer shows sun lovers basking in 24 degrees on the beach in Weymouth in Dorset yesterday.
Oh, very nice. Well, let's go through the papers this morning with broadcasters Liz Kershaw and David Hamilton.
Legends.
Legends indeed.
Two
Good
legends.
to see you both this morning. Liz, let's start with the Sunday Times, should we? Labour vowing to make us a clean energy superpower.
Yeah, well, as Keir Starmer, who's announcing this, not heard of the net zero target, because I thought that's what we're on course to be anyway, under the Conservatives. So it just sort of screams nothing to see here to me. And one of the things that he's pledging is to scrap oil production in the North Sea in a bid to win SNP voters, because of course Scotland's the big target area for the Labour Party.
They rely on the oil money.
Well, my question is, how out of touch is Keir Starmer? How wrong can he be? So he's trying to woo SNP voters in Scotland away to the Labour Party, because that's his big chance of having a clear majority in the House of Commons, should he be able to win 20-odd Labour seats back to Labour in Scotland. But surely the people who most want oil production to continue are the Scottish people, because Nicola Sturgeon, although she's no longer the First Minister, her whole business plan for Scotland around the time of the Scottish independence referendum was reliant on income from North Sea oil production. In fact, the Scottish government has always said that's our oil, not the UK's, and we should reap the benefits of it. So I don't understand Keir Starmer's thinking. I just don't see that this is going to appeal to the public, who are already, I sense and read, tiring of green policies, because they are now hitting them directly in the pocket. Last time I was on, we were reporting that there was going to be another levy on your energy bills to support the development of hydrogen technology for vehicles, etc. And people are being told that they've got to install heat pumps and they might get a reduction in the mortgage, they've got to use less power, pay more for it, subsidise wind farms. And I think that people are just, I know I am, just sitting in the back teeth of it.
Here's a controversial thought, though, is just stop oil, okay?
Yeah.
Is it working? Are their protests working? Because Starmer's coming out of this today.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's not why I'm wearing an orange dress.
Oh,
What is it with the orange paint thing?
I don't know, but I don't know. I think we've seen this week they invaded the pitch, didn't they, to rugby match, and felt the full. I was always saying they're never going to attack a rugby match because they'll feel the full force of the prop forwards, and they did. I just think this is completely barking up the wrong tree. As a potential vote winner.
Well, what do you think? GBViews at gbnews.com. Let us know. I mean, we're talking of money and all the problems we're facing. 19% food inflation last month, David. It's huge. Apparently, the Prime Minister wants supermarkets to cap their prices.
Yeah. Can I just say, first of all, how very happy I am to be here this morning.
Oh, good.
To be honest with you, at my age, I'm happy to be anywhere. The last time I was on with Dawn, we spent our entire time giggling.
Oh, gosh,
But she's now become a serious broadcaster.
Yes, she has, yes.
And you've given me serious topics to talk about, so I shall try and do them justice. The story that you're talking about is actually in the Telegraph, and it's Downing Street in talks to cap prices on food to help the the inflation problem. And I think they're already doing this in France. And I mean, I have to say, to be honest with you, Mrs. H does most of the shopping in our household. I'm actually the chauffeur and the bin man.
Yeah.
But so she could tell you more about prices than I could, but she does say to me so many times, these prices are just becoming absolutely ridiculous. And I think particularly she's talking about bread and milk. So there does need to be a cap. And I think it's obviously a good thing, going to help us all.
Yeah, it's just how you implement, because it's a voluntary thing.
Yes, exactly.
Which means that the government isn't going to, it's not like the energy thing where the government will pay the difference, presumably. So you're asking supermarkets just to take a hit.
Yeah.
How's that going to...
They're saying, of course, that all their prices have gone up, and that's why they've in turn had to put the prices up. But, you know, we hear the story everywhere, don't we?
But I'm finding it's changing, actually, subtly. And, I mean, food prices worldwide, globally, are now going down. I mean, raw, unprocessed food. And I think the main problem is with branded goods, processed foods from big food manufacturers with vested interests who the supermarkets buy from. So the likes of Heinz, baked beans and Nestle, baby formula and a lot of other products, they're the ones that have gone up by huge percentages. But yesterday I was very encouraged because I went to Aldi and I got loads of stuff. You know, if you buy the offers, I got avocados for 60p each, new potatoes for 59p, green beans. You know, they have the offers on the end aisle as you go in, 6 veg, all at 59, 60p. I got a pack of 4 rump steaks for $9.99. They put butter prices down. The egg prices have gone down. I just think that the signs there are that, A, they're in competition for our goodwill and business, and there are certain products that they're all coming down. But at the same time, I found yesterday that things have levelled off. And at Sainsbury's the other day, unlike David, I seem to spend every day in supermarkets. But at Sainsbury's, I got some fantastic bargains in Sainsbury's.
Can I just say something else here as well, Liz, is that if they don't put the prices up, what happens is that everything becomes smaller. And all the items that you get are smaller. And one thing that I've noticed is that pens now run out very quickly, and there's even less ink in pens.
You need to buy these GBNEWS pens.
Well, I was hoping that you would give me a
No, I had to buy these myself. I bought these myself off the website, £6 for 3. It's not like £2 for
as long as songs don't get shorter, David, you know, when you buy a record and it's only 2 minutes long.
Talking of something that isn't shrinking, Liz, this is your story from the Sunday Express. Immigration.
Yeah, well, Rishi Sunak is pledging that he can get immigration under control. The figures were out this week, were the headline figure on net migration, that's the number of people that arrived minus the number of people that left. The country was 600,000. I wasn't as shocked as we were led to believe we would be, and I think that was probably a strategy that leaks were put out. Oh, it could be 1 million, and then it was only 600,000 only, so we were all going, oh, that's not so bad. And when you break those figures down, we had all the people who were sheltering here from Ukraine,
and Hong Kong.
And Hong Kong. I don't think the people who've come from Hong Kong will ever want to return, but a lot of the people from Ukraine will. And then we had students and their dependents who the government's saying they will take measures to stop. But what I find really weird is that when we had the Brexit vote, people who wanted Brexit, campaigned for Brexit and voted for Brexit were criticised by those who wished to remain in the EU because Brexiteers were saying we don't want an open border where, because we're part of the EU, people can just come here and have a right to come here and a right to work here. And what the Labour Party and Remainers said was, oh, you know, freedom of movement of people, it's a great thing. You know, if you don't like that, you're racist or whatever. I was always saying, actually, what my personal view is that it's actually racist and kind of harking back to slavery to exploit people from poorer countries and bring them here to do the jobs that we don't want to do. I found that fundamentally wrong. We should train people and we should put up wages. And it's like it's swapped now. It's the Labour Party now, in the Sun, page 2, who was saying it's absolutely wrong to have people coming here working cheaply and doing the dirty work.
Isn't there a story that they're going to send, I think maybe leaflets to Albania to tell people that if they come here they will be returned and they won't be able to stay here? But that is just propaganda, isn't it? And I don't think anybody believes that. We know it's not true.
There's a huge concern with people coming from a lot of the illegal migration. It's something 50-60% are Albanian.
It's dropped a lot from Albania because there's now a reciprocal arrangement, and the thousands of people from Albania have been returned to Albania.
The only thing I would say about the immigration crisis is that this is a small island and it is overcrowded, and maybe people who make up our laws don't drive on the M25. I was on the M25 yesterday, and I can tell you the problem is very simple: too many people and too many cars.
There are 5 lanes now near Heathrow, and I sat on the M25 and M25, M1 for 5 hours doing a 150-mile journey on Friday. But the main thing about migration and the contribution to population growth which could be 75 million in this country by 2030, is water. That's a big story. I flagged it up yesterday. The Environment Agency is warning that even now we are millions of litres short of water, in particular southeast of England, already before the population grows by another 10 million.
The problem is every time this government tried to do something about it, they're stopped. Their hands are tied. Everything they try and do, there's somebody, usually lawyers, who are probably making an awful lot of money about it, who are saying, sorry, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, well, that's true enough. Look, we need to leave it there, you two. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on. Thank you very much indeed.